Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss about an algorithm to find next greater element. As per the problem statement, you will be given an integer array. The array contains only positive integers. It is not a sorted array. We need to find the next greater element for each element in the array. Next element in the sense, it must be on the right side of the element, not on the left side. In case if there is no greater element exists for the given array element, then consider -1 as a result. Let's say this is our input array. We will find next greater element for each array element. For 16, 14 is less than 16, so it is not. 88 is greater than 16, so for 16, 88 is next greater element. Even for 14, 88 is next greater element. For 18, it is not 29, it is not 1, it is not 24, and it is 190. 190 is greater than 88. So 190 is next greater element for 88. For 29, it is not 1, it is not 24, again it is 190. For 1, it is 24, 24 is greater than 1. For 24, it is 190. For 190, on the right side, there is no bigger number exists. So it does not have any next greater element. So its value is -1. 5 is the last number. There is no elements present after this. So it is also -1 here. So these are the expected answers for each element. Let's discuss about the logic. The simplest approach is brute force way. We can use two loops, two nested for loops. The outer loop is to iterate over the array and the inner loop is to identify next greater number. The time complexity in this case is big O of n square. This is not an optimal way. Then what is the optimal solution? By using a stack, we can get solution with big O of n time complexity. Here are the steps. This is the algorithm. We must maintain the elements in the decreasing order in the stack. Follow below steps in each iteration. Push the element into the stack if it is empty and continue with next iteration. If the stack is not empty, then compare the current index element with stack top element. Push the element into the stack if it is less than the stack top element. If the element is greater than the stack top element, then pop out stack element. The current element in the iteration will be the next greater number for the popped out element. And continue popping out elements until the stack top is greater than the current element. This is our algorithm. Let's apply this algorithm on this array. Here is our stack. Remember that we need to maintain elements in decreasing order in the stack. In the first iteration, the number is 16. Since stack is empty, push it to the stack. In the next iteration, the number is 14. We will compare it with stack top. 14 is less than 16. We will push it to stack. The next element is 88. 88 is greater than 14. We cannot push it to the stack as we need to maintain the stack in decreasing order only. Pop out an element. 14 is popped out. 88 is next greater element for popped out element. So 88 is next greater number for 14. So here we will mark it 88. We will continue comparing 88 with stack top. 88 is greater than 16, so pop out an element. So even for 16, 88 is next greater element. Let's mark it here. Since stack is empty, push 88 into the stack before going to next iteration. In the next iteration, the number is 29. We'll compare it with stack top. 29 is less than 88. Push it to stack. In the next iteration, the number is 1. 1 is less than 29, so push it to the stack. In the next iteration, the number is 24. 24 is greater than 1, so pop out an element. 1 is popped out, so 24 is next greater element for number 1. Let's mark it here. Now we will continue comparing current element with stack top. 24 is again less than 29, so push it to the stack. In the next iteration, 190 is the number. 190 is greater than 24, so pop out 24. For 24, 190 is next greater number. We have marked it here. And we will continue comparing with stack top. 29 is less than 190. Let's pop it out. Same way for 29, 190 is next greater number, next greater element. Similarly, 88 is less than 190. Pop it out. Even for 88, 190 is next greater element. Since the stack is empty, push 190 into the stack. In the next iteration, 5 is the number. 5 is less than stack top, so push it here. Now we are done with iterating over the array. No more elements left in the array. If you look at the stack, there are few more elements left in the stack. That means they does not have any next greater element. So we will mark them -1. So for 5, it is -1. For 190, it is -1. This is our logic. Since it requires only one traversal through the array, the time complexity is big O of n. Hope you understood the logic. Let's write code now. We have already created a static method called print next greater element. It takes an integer array as an input. Declare a stack. We will use for loop to iterate over the array. Check if stack is empty. Push the element into the stack if it is empty and continue with next iteration. If stack is not empty, then compare the current element with stack top element. If the top element is less than the current element, then pop out an element. We will use while loop as we need to constantly compare and pop out elements. Pop out an element and print the result onto the console. Once we are out of while loop, push the current element into the stack. Finally, once we are done with iterating over the array, if any element left over in the stack, then by default print -1 as a result. I'll copy it from here and paste it here. So this is our code. Let's test this. I have already written main method to save some time. This is our input array. We are passing this as an input to print next greater element. Let's run. Hope no runtime errors. So here is the output and it is as expected. If you notice here, the output is not matching with array order. In order to retain array order while printing onto the console, use a hash map to store the result. So this is about finding next greater element in the given integer array. Hope you like it. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.